whole about the expectation for the induction. It's one of the biggest events we have this year as you are inducted into NHS. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for your family. It's a big deal for you. So we want to make sure this goes off smoothly. NHS induction will happen next Wednesday. I'm super excited about that because we have open house that night, as you may be familiar, that it is open house that night, and we are managing to have that at the same time, make that happen. So your parents that may be coming for open house may be coming in the earlier section of open house because there's two parts to open house where you could come you might not know this, but you could come in 2 sessions. They might want to come in the earlier session if they want to do open house and they want to do induction. Because the NHS induction will actually take place during the second session of open house. Not exactly the same time frame, but during the second session, okay? And we're so lucky, we have Mr. Danny Gould as our speaker for you guys. Those of you in the room here, you received the letter, and you should be congratulated for your efforts so far. This is great. I'm glad to see that we have a great big induction class this year. So appreciate that. Props to you. So the induction ceremony, again, next Wednesday, 7:30, okay? We will want you to arrive as inductees at 7 p.m., okay? Most practices should be well done by then because of our open house. So this works out to a benefit as well. So you have an opportunity to go home, change, so on and so forth, okay? So it does happen at 7:30, but we do want you here at 7. Unfortunately, we're not able to have a practice in the auditorium at this time because the auditorium is unavailable today or a lot of times this week. So we are going to do a quasi sort of practice just to give you an understanding of the order of how it goes. But it does, we do need you to be there at 7 p.m. so we can get you seated alphabetically. That's super important because our program runs that way, okay? We have a greeting and seating committee that'll help you with that, so don't be so nervous if you don't exactly know like who's by me. We'll figure that out on that night, okay? And there'll be a clear direction. But if you get there at 7, then we know for sure you're going to get seated. The doors will open and there will be music at 7 p.m. So it'll be a nice, calm half hour that we're just going to get you kind of seated, and it'll be a nice beginning to the ceremony, okay? We'll start at 7:30, and it'll go through as I go through how we'll order the ceremony. If for some reason you know already that you can't be here on induction night, please let Mr. Hampton and I know, okay? We would like to not have to, we'll take your card out, but we'll give you your PIN and induct you later at the first meeting, but we want to make sure we know if there's somebody that can't make it for other reasons, okay? So arrival times we talked about, 7 p.m., really, really important. But your parents can come anytime, but the doors do open at 7 p.m., so sometimes they like to come at the same time so they can be right up front. Or not, okay? So what I gave you so far is you have an induction card, which is very, very important. Your induction card is what Sarah will be using to call you up. And she will be presenting this with your name and your parents' name on it. So what's really important is some of you have some difficult names that might not be pronounced correctly, and we want Sarah to do the best she can, but what she needs is just phonetic spelling of your name if it's difficult, okay? So if you know that your name sometimes gets mispronounced, if you could spell it out phonetically on that label, it would be really great, okay? And if you wanted to follow up with Sarah and mention something to her, like I think I spelled this the right way that you would understand it, if you want to go over with her, please do, okay? So that is what that introduction card is for, is how you're going to be called up. You will put down parents, guardians, so it'll be read your name, parents are, and they'll say the parent's name, or Sarah will say the parent's name. And then 2 activities, 1, maybe 2, it doesn't matter, that describe what really you do here. And I know some of you do many, many things here, but if you could just give us 1 or 2 top things that you spend most of your time on, just so we have a highlight of the things you're involved in, okay? So that's what the induction card is about. Are there questions about that induction card? About how you need to fill that out? That is one of the most important reasons we're meeting is because of that, believe it or not. It's super important. Okay? Any questions? I hear talking amongst yourselves. Is there questions there, or can I help somebody? Yes. Does everyone have their card who came in? If you don't have your $5 today, just take your envelope with you, please. And then return your envelope to Mr. Nistick or myself sometime.
With your name on it, though.
But of course, it's got the name on it already.
Yeah.
Don't use the envelope, but it's got your name on it. Okay? So with those 2 things you were given, one gets returned to us today. Before you walk out that door there, you'll give us that yellow induction card. Okay?
These guys have an envelope for you.
And then when you leave here, you may give us your dues envelope, if you have it. Okay? Blake will be up here, who is our treasurer, and he'll take the dues envelope for you. Mr. Hanson and I can take it, or Sarah can take the induction envelope, or induction card from you, okay? So clear on that? Are there, yes, you have a question? Say again?
Okay, after practice, come and talk to Sarah. Make sure she can read it, so she's the one.
Okay, clear on that. If some of you came with bigger bills, like $10, take an envelope of your friends and your envelope, put them together, and put $10 in. And it would be clear that those 2 names need that $10. Okay? That's it.
All right, listen up, guys. Hang in there.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to, these are our first couple inductees that are guinea pigs, and we're going to go through what this might look like without really having the stage here. But before I get there, I want to mention one more thing. Besides arriving at 7 p.m., which is really important, is your attire. Okay? It would be, this is a very nice event. You want to represent yourself well, and I know that everybody has different tastes and styles of how to represent themselves, so do the best that you can. But please present yourself in a way that you want to represent the fact that this is a nice event. Okay, this is a, it's not anything near graduation, but it's very nice and it's a big honor. So understand for the ladies, just so you're aware, sometimes shoes are really high. You have to walk up the stairs, so keep that in mind if you're thinking about shoes. And the other thing is there is a place in which you're going to be signing the membership book. And you might have to, it's on a table, you might have to bend just a little bit to get to that membership book. So if you think about what you might be wearing as far as skirts and things like that, just be aware that that is something that is, okay? I'd like to leave it at that. Any questions about attire or arrival? Those are 2 big things.
Guys, it's hard to hear in here, so if you can't hear from the back and all you heard was wah, 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 better ask now. If you show up in blue jeans, you're going to feel stupid or...
We're going to go through the order now.
Okay, so the order of the ceremony goes like this. The music will happen first with the orchestra quartet. The president's welcome, that'll be Sarah. The keynote speaker, that's Mr. Gould. A brief history of NHS from Pauline. Some emblem and torch speaking, again by Pauline. Character, Gisela, our new secretary, will take care of that. Blake will talk about the scholarship. Abby will talk about leadership. Evelyn will talk about service, and then it's your part. That's the call of the inductees, which will be taken by Sarah, along with the members' pledge and the president's closing, which are all Sarah. All right? So there's a little bit of stuff in there. Make sure that you look at the program. Your parents will want it. They'll keep it, make you sign it, put it on their fridge, that kind of stuff. So is that what you need?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll take about an hour. If we're good, it'll take about an hour, so we're good. So what we're going to do is just do a slight little practice of what it would be. Pretend this is the stage, okay? Sarah's at the podium on the stage, and the stairs are on the stage right here. So we're talking about if you're looking at the stage on your right side are those stairs, those right stairs. Those are the ones you'll go up, okay? You'll be seated in order in those rows in the auditorium in the first 2. You'll be going across alphabetically, okay? So as your name gets called, you'll be coming up alphabetically, starting with Angela and then secondly, right? Okay, so she'll do is the NHS pledge. She'll ask you to repeat after her, because she'll have it, but you'll also, when you have your membership pin, it has it on the back of it, so you can read it. You have to repeat after her.
So the important thing is to follow the person in front of you. Watch what the people in front of you do.
The last thing I have for you is you did receive the letter that did have the Google Classroom code. So please make sure that you sign up for that, because that is very important for the way we communicate. We put volunteer opportunities on there. You will need 30 hours of community service. If you're a junior, you'll need 30 hours this year and 30 hours next year. If you're a senior, just this year, 30 hours, okay? The junior hours are due in May, but the senior hours are due in April. They have to be done early because seniors this year will receive their cords for graduation, and we have to make sure that they've completed their 30 hours of community service for this year. Okay, any questions about that?
I do.
Yes.
What happens if you don't do and record your 30 hours of service?
Unfortunately, we have to call your parents and let them know, or send a letter that you're no longer a member of NHS. And you will not receive your cords at graduation. And
They don't really do that, do they, Mrs. Kashnitz?
yes, that happens. And
All right.
it's not fun.
And let me make sure that everybody heard. It's not just doing the service, it's also recording it in the Google form that is on the classroom, okay? If you don't record it, it may as well have not happened.
And we are in the honor system, so you're able to record on your own. We're not asking for you to provide all sorts of signatures, just the name of the person and the contact information for verification. Okay, question?
Are we allowed to use hours from this past summer?
From this past summer, if you use them for the application, you cannot, yes. So if they're already used for your application to get in, those are not included, but these would be additional, okay? That's a great question. Any others? Questions about that? Okay, really clear. All right. So the other thing is communication. We also have a remind. That was also in the letter. Excuse me, just a few more seconds of your time. I appreciate it. We also have a remind. Please use that. We have social media, which Gabby's been sending out stuff already. So please follow social media, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure that you're aware of when meetings are, but we will send out reminds on that, but it is in the handbook. We will have meetings twice per day. You can come to either one, but that is the only way you're going to really know what's going on if there's pressing things other than what we do in Google Classroom. But it is a membership expectation that you are present at a meeting every month. That is a requirement, as well as keeping the 3.5 GPA and the 30 hours of community service. Okay, those are all still standards that you'll be held to. Okay? So that is what we need to make sure that we're doing. There is, in fact, the first NHS meeting for you the day after the induction ceremony. Woohoo! You'll be here late, and then you have to come early for a meeting, or you'll stay after school if you can do that. Okay? Are there any questions? We did a great job and did this in a half hour. I appreciate that. Please do not forget to give us your induction card. That is the only way I know that you were here.